this is Lavinia at Cross Keys Crafts. Today I would like to create a card for the Lavinia Stamps Creative Challenge. I don't always take part in this. It's going on every single month up to the 25th of the month. And Lavinia Stamps, they set a topic and you can create a picture or card with Lavinia Stamps products. And yeah, and you can win £40 in vouchers, which is actually worth taking part every month, but I don't always get it done. And I thought to myself the other day, I should actually do that every single month, just for myself, because I do like a challenge. And yeah, so I thought I'd do it for this month, and the topic is Autumn Hues. And I really love autumn. I love autumn colours, maybe because I was born in October. So I just got lots of my Elements inks out that I would like to use for this, which I've got the olive here, Sundance, truffle, oops, this one's upside down, russet orange, merlot, which I don't use often enough, and the paprika. And my idea was to create, well, I would like to do some gold heat embossing and then use these colours just to fill in basically the background. But when I thought about this, I will create one image off camera, I think, because my original thought was just to use this stamp here and use it sort of all over, maybe upside down, to fill this, heat emboss these images, and then just come in with these colours. But when I had this idea, I thought, or I found, rather than just stamping it, to use this sticker stencil, because that's got a leaf on it. But I think these leaves are too big to fill this in. So I will use some smaller stamps for that, which are these flowers. So I'm showing you the technique with a smaller card, and then I will create this with the same technique off camera to create a bigger card. So I haven't used this sticker stencil beforehand, so the first thing I need to do is when I peel this off, and I just need the outer bit. Oh, that's the, let me just leave the inner bit on the sheet here. I need to stick this on either my trousers or my t-shirt to take some of the tackiness off, because these are really sticky. And if you've got, sorry about the noise, if you have got delicate paper, it might tear the paper. I've got my usual 300 GSM from UK Crafts. This is the not so smooth one, the new stash, but I actually got an old pack, well, hopefully an old pack in my local crafts shop the other day. So I'm just putting this on my t-shirt here. Come on, see this. So, which means I've got a cat hair on it as well, but this takes some of the stickiness off. And I've cut myself a cardstock here, a card base, which is 5.5 by 5.5 to go on a 5 7/8 square card. So I'm just placing this is a square sticker stencil, just sort of in the middle. Doesn't really matter 100%. So I'm pressing this all down so that I'm not catching it with the ink blending. So, and because I'm doing some heat embossing, I need to do my use my powder tool. Don't have a large area here to work with really. So, and as I said, I will use these flowers, and I think I will actually maybe just only use this one anyway and just rotate it because I like the open areas. I would not use solid stamps here because I want to have as much colour as I can. So I think I will just use this one and rotate it. And I want it to overlap as well, but not too much. Because I haven't used this before, I will also stamp it off. I've got some scrap paper underneath, which is actually some, show you just that, one of my needless purchases. I bought some Care Bear cardstock, not realising most of that is Stars and Stripes, which is no good to me. So I learned my lesson there to watch closely what I'm actually ordering. So I'm just inking this up with my Versamark ink, and then I'm just stamping all over. It is a bit difficult to see. All I need to make sure of is that I fill in the areas properly. And I'm rotating the stamp and trying to overlap it. I will have to lift the cardstock up in a moment to see where I have actually stamped. Don't know if you could just see that. I just did that at a little angle because I'm not quite sure how much I catch there at the edge. So basically about putting some pattern down. So you could theoretically use this here and just put it on 3 times, but I like doing it this way. So if I lift it up now against the light, I can see what I have stamped. So popping one there. And I think I need one more on this side. I don't mind it overlapping, as long as I don't have overstamped it. So I think I'm happy with that. So I do not want to lift this up. I don't know how the sticker stencil reacts to the embossing powder, whether that is very static, but I give it a try because I do not want to have to place this back down afterwards, or do I? Nope. I haven't thought this through, as you may notice. So I'm just opening this box here. So all I'm doing now, if I can, is dipping this in here. If not, I have to get a spoon out. Bear with me. So, I'm trying to do it above the box though, because that minimises the mess I'm making. Yeah, so it is quite static. So we'll have to brush that off before I do the heat setting, because I do not want to heat set on the actual stencil. So I'm just getting a soft brush and I'm trying to get off as much as I can here. Obviously, yeah, because I have stamped on the sticker stencil as well. That will have created a bit of static there as well. So okay, I think I'll have to take that off. So I hope it hasn't left any stickiness on the actual. Sorry, I'm just taking this off camera to just lift it away from it. So yeah, I will have to give that a thorough clean. Okay, so do that first before you dip it in your ink. So I'm hoping that I can manage to place it back afterwards. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to heat set this off camera. What I will do is I will heat up my heat tool. Got a bit of access here on the side. For 30 seconds, and then I will heat this from the back so that I'm not blowing the embossing powder away. And I can see I have torn the paper just a tiny little bit. It's like some bits of paper have been pulled up, but I think it's okay. So yeah, best to do that off camera before you heat set this. Sorry, my brain's just gone. So after I've heat set it from the back, I just like to come in on the front, just make sure I haven't missed anywhere. But this is lovely now. I really like this. As I'm a bit worried about placing the stencil over this again, but the first thing I'll have to do is really clean the stencil. So what I will do with this is I'll place it down on the original paper, which is here, and then I will give this a very good wipe with a wet wipe, and I think that would be best, or even maybe even on the other side, because I don't need to mess it up. So I quickly do this off camera, really give that a good wipe, and then I'll show you how we place it back. So see it this way, I do all these things so you don't have to make the same mistakes. I try to brush it off, absolute nightmare. The embossing powder actually got underneath those bits, so I washed it off under the tap and then dried this with a towel, which worked okay. I've got embossing powder left, but I don't think it will influence the stickiness. It's still fairly sticky. So I'm trying to place this back here now, and I can definitely on this side can see where I had it. I'm just trying not to distort it when I'm sticking it down. See, it's still quite sticky. One little tip for taking this off rather than pulling it off the paper and ruining your cardstock is to heat it up a little bit before you take it off, and I will do that this time. And also my cardstock is a bit warped now, so that's the problem here now, but I think it is fairly stuck down. I'm just being ambushed by my cat at the bottom here. It's at my feet, so I might have to interrupt my filming in a moment. But sometimes he's just curious of what I'm doing. So, all I need to do now is to basically colour this in. And I think I come in with the lightest colour first, which is the Sundance. Just getting rid of some excess embossing powder there. And this is really whatever colours you like. You don't have a lot of space to work here anyway, but I just want to put some colour down, and really just randomly, but making sure I'm going to the edges of the sticker stencil. I'm just holding the stencil down as well, just in case it's not that sticky anymore. So I really like the Sundance, so just a little bit there. So I think for the other colours I will just speed up the video, because all I'm doing is really just blending in the colours in a circular motion. So I think that's all I need. Just putting my brushes away now and my inks, and then I'll show you the reveal. Yeah, I'm being a bit mindful that I've got ink on my fingers, and I've also got ink on the stencil, so I need to be careful when I peel it off. It is a bit mucky, or looks a bit mucky. I was a bit surprised the Merlot is a bit more purple and less sort of, I thought it was more like a Bordeaux, like a wine colour purple, but it is a bit less actually. So it's actually a bit muddier than I thought it would be, but it'll be fine. So when I peel this off now, no, I did say I would heat it up, and I will do that. So I'm just putting this on the first heat setting, because I do not want to heat up the embossing powder again. So I'm just going over this very lightly to loosen the glue just a little bit. And hopefully that makes it easier to peel this off. Yeah, it's coming off very nicely now. And there we go. We've got a gold embossed leaf there. I was just looking here. I've got a few specks here from the embossing powder, but I think this is really, really pretty. So, not ideal with this sticker stencil because it's just too sticky for the embossing powder when you stamp on it. But you could always cut your own leaf. You could have a very plain leaf. Let me just get a pen here to show you what I mean. You know, you could always just draw your own. Just have a leaf like this. You know, just do your own mask or stencil. And yeah, but this is really pretty, I think. I will now do the second version without the masking. Oh, there's a doorbell and you just need to get that. Bear with me. Apologies for the interruption there. I just continued with this off camera, and then I thought I should just show you the finished cards. So I placed both of these on some craft cardstock that I cut myself from A4 card. I just put a score line in the middle at 5 7/8, and then I just chop the sides off. Sometimes it's as much as this, but I always found that I get a neater finish than if I measure it correctly, and then it sort of doesn't fold the right way. So this one is now on a 5 3/4 square card. This one was 5.5 wide. And because this was, this is a top folding card. I quite like a top folding card. But because the image didn't fill the card, I decided to put a score line all the way around. I just did this on my scoreboard, but I did it from the other side because I wanted this to be a raised score line, and I quite like the look of this. I'm not adding a sentiment just yet because I don't know what occasion this will be for. I think this would go as a get well soon card, as a birthday card, thinking of you, because it is so plain but really stunning when the light catches the embossing. I think this is really pretty. So for the other one, I just worked on the bigger card. I just kept these snippets here because I wanted to show you. I like to work on a slightly bigger piece and then cut the edges off, because when I do ink blending it always catches on the edges and I don't really like the look of that. Don't know how well this shows, so I like to cut it down after I've done the ink blending. With this one, yeah, I just used a stamp and just turned it upside down. I worked actually this way, so this is the right way around, this is upside down, right way around, upside down, and this overlaps a little bit, but again you've got this stunning gold embossing there. This time I did not include the Merlot, but all the other colours are in there. The truffle is quite light, but I like the other colours, and I try to overlap them as well to create new colours here, and I think this is really lovely for autumn. And same as with the other one, I'm not adding a sentiment yet. I will do that, I think, on a strip, and I could have it facing this way or this way, it doesn't even matter. So I would just maybe put a strip down here, maybe ink that up as well, maybe even keep one of these pieces, I'm not quite sure yet, but I think, or maybe even a craft cardstock piece with a gold sentiment would work. Or maybe nothing at all. Sometimes I think the outside doesn't need a sentiment and you can just put something on the inside. Talking of the inside, with craft cardstock I would probably put a white panel on the inside for the greetings rather than leaving it as. But yeah, I think these are really lovely. That one with a hiccup obviously, so be mindful that the sticker stencils are sticky, as their name says, and embossing powder will stick to it. But I still think this turned out okay. Yeah, and if you like these cards too, you might want to give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of what I'm creating, you might want to subscribe to my channel. I'd be very happy about that. And I'll see you soon with another video.